going on, vinyl community? Welcome to another video with the Record Spinner. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing the Kiss Record Store Day release that never happened, and that is the Destroyer Singles Box Set. This is a project that dates back to around the time the Casablanca Singles Box Set was being worked on, and the truth is there's only so much fund allocation to things that will be profitable, and this is one of those things that just kind of seep through the cracks. This video is based on a small bit of factual information, and the rest is fueled by speculation, fandom, and passion. So this is not some earth-shattering revelation that came from a source from Universal. This is a bit of fun I decided to have based on what little is known, but bring to light something us Kiss vinyl collectors could have sinked our teeth into if it had ever come to fruition. There's quite a bit to get through, so enough of the chit-chat. Let's jump into what this video is all about. For as long as Record Store Day has been a thing for us vinyl collectors, one of the bands that's always been absent from not putting out an exclusive release to commemorate the day is Kiss. And it's kind of baffling to think about when you consider how massive the Kiss vinyl collecting hub is, just down to the value of original pressings, promos, German pressings with the censored logo, picture discs, the Kiss Online exclusives, 7-inch picture sleeves. Every angle has its market. One of the co-hosts of the Three Sides of the Coin podcast is Mark Cicchini, who is a mega fan and one of those trusted guys that help Universal with projects and is generally in the know of what's coming. And he mentioned in a recent episode that according to one of his Universal connections, the reason why Kiss doesn't participate in Record Store Day is that there's not enough return on investment. I personally think that Kiss fans would line up at their local record store in the wee hours of the morning to cop whatever it is that they could put out. But on the other side, Kiss has a successful business model, despite how many fans can be disgruntled with it, with what they do with their Kiss Online exclusive releases. They can put out a colored vinyl or picture disc pressing, bundle it with a shirt or jacket, and easily make $100 to $250 and keep a lion's share of the profits going down the indie record store chain where record labels sell direct to distributors who make their cut when record stores buy from them, and then the record store prices it either based on the MSRP or however they choose to price it at retail. The revenue almost gets whittled down through each step, and maybe it's a no-brainer from a business perspective to not partake because the profit margins are so much greater selling it on their own platform. One name I'm going to mention is a guy by the name of Tom Shannon, who is a mega Kiss vinyl collector. He launched the Rockologist record label, releasing exclusive pressings of Bruce Kulick, Eric Carr, and Peter Criss albums. And he assisted Universal with assembling the Casablanca singles and Casteria box sets to the point where Universal didn't have any of the original artwork, so they were utilizing high-res scans of Tom's collection along with others. To mention Three Sides once again, he appeared on an episode some time ago where he discussed his involvement with those projects, and he mentioned that before the singles box set came out, Universal was looking to put out a Kiss release for Record Store Day. So this dates back to around 2011, 2012. And while they were working on the box set, they planned to take the 4 singles from the Destroyer album and put them together in a slipcase style box, but utilize different picture sleeves that weren't going to be used in the box set. So everything was mocked up, selected, and ready to go. And sure enough, the project was dead in the water and Universal decided not to pursue it. Now, the Kiss/Universal bubble is very airtight. You won't ever see things get leaked out in terms of stuff that didn't get off the ground. But because I love to be creative, I decided to take it upon myself to design a potential mock-up as to what this Destroyer singles box set could have looked like. While I do have some acumen in graphic design, I am not by any means an artist, and I don't know the ins and outs of Photoshop, but I could definitely make something out of nothing using the bare minimum. For the front of the slipcase box, I took inspiration from the Casablanca Blue Bogart label, which was the label used on some of the Destroyer singles as well as the album. I retained the stylized Casablanca logo, and in place of the Humphrey Bogart figure in the buildings and palm trees, I just included the 4 guys as they appeared on the Destroyer cover. Kind of gives it a slight twist in regards to it looking classic, yet almost like a custom center label as seen on future albums like Dynasty and Unmasked. And as per the label, the Kiss logo and title, which I use to best match how the Destroyer title looks on the album cover, comes in silver. The spine features the Kiss logo, title, and respective record company logos. For the back of the box, I took some inspiration from the backing sheet of the Casablanca singles box and used some of the hype text but catered it towards the Destroyer singles specifically, included the 4 singles that are included and notating where each picture sleeve came from, which country, along with scans of the picture sleeves, and to round it off, record company logos, barcode, and copyright text. Just to get it out of the way, this set would include 4 singles. Shout It Out Loud backed with Sweet Pain, Flaming Youth backed with God of Thunder, Detroit Rock City backed with Beth, and Beth backed with Detroit Rock City. Now let's reference what picture sleeves were used in the Casablanca singles box. For Shout It Out Loud, they used the Japanese sleeve. For Flaming Youth, they used the American sleeve. For Detroit Rock City, they used, once again, the Japanese sleeve. And for Beth, they used the German sleeve. Now, keep in mind, the intent of this Destroyer singles collection was to use sleeves that weren't used in the box. And when you go through the listings on Discogs, you'll realize that only so much exists. It's not like every country got their own picture sleeve. So I was kind of working with finite sources, but I also wanted to make sure that there was enough variety and representation from different countries. So for Shout It Out Loud, I opted for the Netherlands picture sleeve, which features a photo outtake from the first album cover shoot. And yes, I made it a point to not use the Danish sleeve, which was used for the Kiss Online exclusive pressing of the 7-inch back in 2021. Who's to say maybe that sleeve was considered for this set? We'll never know. For Flaming Youth, I opted to use the German picture sleeve. Features a great shot of Gene and Ace with Peter's levitating drum kit in the back. For Detroit Rock City, I opted for another German sleeve. This one uses individual photos shot by Rayan Rubinstein from 1974. For Beth, I opted for the Italian picture sleeve, which isn't too imaginative, just the Destroyer cover with the album title airbrushed out and Beth put in its place. Kind of reminds me of the US Flaming Youth sleeve. This is all based on just a small grain of factual information, and since the amount of fandom and enthusiasm never runs short, all of this was conceived out of pure passion. Let's not forget, we are 1 year shy of Destroyer's 50th anniversary, and if the powers that be at Pop House and Universal want to do something special, since we already got a Super Deluxe box set some years back, this isn't a bad idea to revive. Let this video serve as some inspiration. But there you guys go. That is my little discussion on the Kiss Record Store Day release that never happened, that being the Destroyer singles box set. Now, here is a question for you guys. What Kiss Record Store Day release would you love to see come out? Please drop a comment down below. I'd love to know. And if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead, give it a like, and subscribe to the channel. See you guys in the next video. And most importantly, keep the records spinning.